Hi, Scorpios. It's me, yeah, babe. Here to go ahead and jump into an individual. I want this to be short, sweet, and to the point. So let's hope I don't run my mouth too much. This is going to be for Lord, I was about to say Sagittarius. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venuses. Are y'all dealing with Sagittariuses? Are y'all dealing with one of us? I don't know. Anyway, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus is going to be short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Check down below in the description box for my website, the discount code, how to find me on other platforms, and all of that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if this resonated. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in for Scorpios. I want to start with some tarot. So give me some tarot cards for my Scorpios. Allow these messages to find those who need them the most. Allow these messages to resonate with those who need them the most. We have the Nine of Swords reversed, the Four of Wands reversed, the Four of Swords is upright. Have you just separated from somebody, or did you just break up with someone? From some clarity, you saw you're seeing things differently. Are you separated from somebody? This doesn't necessarily feel like a breakup. It does feel like a separation, but I mean, you could actually be literally broken up with somebody, or you could just be going through a separation trial period. I do feel like where those where this is like a separation, not an actual breakup. Expect some clarity. Um, yeah, expect some clarity. This makes me feel like looking at these cards makes me feel like the Pisces retrograde that's coming up could expose something and you'll see things from a different perspective. The fact that the beat just randomly sped up out of nowhere also makes me feel like again it'll like speed up the process of something. So maybe you actually broke up with somebody, but then during the retrograde you'll see something be exposed that kind of confirmed and made you feel good about the decision you made. Or if you're not officially broken up, you could see something during this time that'll expose what it is that you need to do, whether you should actually break up or just keep it as like a soft separation. Regardless, I'm seeing some clarity come in for you guys, Scorpios, which will allow you guys to see something different, whether it be an actual breakup, a separation from something or not. Again, the separation doesn't always have to be a breakup. It could be literally separating yourself from anything, other people. It could be separating yourself from a job, a work, a certain type of mindset, and or it could just be needing to rest more. Okay, this Four of Swords isn't always like a separation, breakup, distance type of energy. Sometimes it's just to say that you need about 1 to 4 days of mental rest and rejuvenation. Okay, no stress, no worry, no anxiety. You just need rest and rejuvenation, and that can help you get clear minded. So again, like I said, take it for what it resonates. Okay, Confessions by Sugar Hill D Dot. I don't know. I just put my phone on radio shuffle. I went to Apple Music, hit radio, hit station, hit shuffle. Okay, so I don't know these people. I don't know these people. I don't know these songs. Okay, we just gonna ride with it. All right. But yeah, so I do feel like though, however, a confession could definitely be brought up during this time, Scorpios, which will definitely allow for you to see some things differently, see some things from a different type of lens. I feel like this could definitely be something that comes up to let you know you really can't trust somebody. There either is someone or something around you that you might have been trying to invest something in that you might learn that you can't trust. Actually, clarify for me what this Four of Swords and this Ace of Swords energy is together. Separation brings clarity, is what I just heard. Separation brings clarity. Yeah. Ooh, sorry, my foot falling asleep. I think it's because I'm too grown to be sitting crisscross applesauce. But for some reason, I just guess I don't want to let that shit go. But child, my knees and my shins and my ankles and feet be like, bitch. Now you know. Now you know we can't sit like this no more. Anyway, you do have the Magician card reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Scorpio, definitely anticipate something kind of being brought to light. Okay, separation brings clarity. So for some of you, again, this will be clarity that you'll get all on your own. This will look more like you being by yourself, you separating yourself, maybe not hanging out so much, maybe not being so communicative, maybe not being so talkative, and kind of just sitting with your own self and your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just being in your own bubble, your own world. And through mental rest and rejuvenation, through, distance and just kind of having some time to yourself, it'll really kind of help you put some things together. Okay. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. So if you aren't accustomed to that, this will be a good time to get accustomed to it. You can kind of get your life together and really kind of situate some things and sort some things out if you just stop distracting yourself. Right? Sometimes the signs be right in your face. Sometimes the snake be right in your face. Sometimes the gang and the gimmick be right in your face. But if you always so mentally everywhere else and you don't have those 3 to 5 seconds to slow down, be still, and really mentally process what's going on, you'll get sold a lemon and you won't even know it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't be so desperate for the thing, and don't be so quick to move on the thing, take action on the thing, that you kind of put yourself in a position to get fucked over. Okay? That could just be for some of y'all. For others of you, though, again, this feels like something that you thought had potential, something that you thought was really growing, something that you thought was really being established and really like coming into fruition isn't. Okay. And like I said, for a lot of you, that'll kind of be exposed really, really soon. And it'll give you a different perspective. Again, you'll start to see that something isn't really moving forward. You'll begin to see that things really aren't what they say they are, the illusion of the thing, fantasy of the thing. I'm even hearing rose colored glasses. So it's like, again, you'll start to kind of see things from a different perspective as of right now. Um, for some of you Scorpios, I'm kind of picking up this energy too of like, you need to be a little more inquisitive as far as like cynical. I know Scorpio architect can already be pretty inquisitive because y'all are pretty analytical people. You like to know what makes people click. You like to know what their buttons are and what to push, and so you can know what not to push or whatever shit like that. But this makes me feel like you could actually not be like cynical enough. So for some of you, this feels like some Scorpios who might be a little too trusting. It's rare that I meet y'all. It's very rare that I meet Scorpios who are too trusting. Most of the Scorpios I meet don't trust shit, don't trust nobody, don't trust nothing. Most times than not, they think you trying to get over on them. But this feels like for my Scorpios who are a little too trusting, it's like it's almost like an energy of you don't have enough anxiety about something, or you didn't have enough anxiety about something. You probably was so excited about the probability of something that you didn't really get cynical enough to say, why are you? It's like a job offer or something, or it's like a again, let's use the lemon, right? If somebody come to you and say, "Hey, Scorpio, I have a car that I could sell you. Do you want it?" If you're in desperate need of a car, you probably not gonna ask too many questions, right? You probably just gonna be like, "All right, bet, cool. Good looking out. I needed a car. You trying to get rid of one, bet." But then before you know it, it's like, again, it's a lemon. It's bullshit. They done just sold you this car, got your money. They ain't even tell you you got about a half of a month before the alternator go out. The tires, all four of them need to be done. Your rotors is fucked up. Like, they didn't tell you that the car was literally on its last leg. They just propped it up to you. You know what I'm saying? You need to be a little more cynical, ask more questions as of right now moving forward. So what does that mean to me? You want to sell me a car? Okay, let's start with what's wrong with the car, right? Because let's be for real. Ain't nobody just out here selling no cars. Scorpio, I'm sorry. They just not. They just not. They just not. They just not. And most of y'all seem like y'all know that. But again, this feels like some. There is a couple of Scorpios who are a little too trusted, a little too gullible, a little too naive. It's like, all right, bet. No, ask questions. What's wrong with the car? Let's start there. And then how much do you want for the car? Let's start there. And really take your time to think about it. Don't rush into nothing. This feels like for some of you, you could be rushing through something right now, or you have been up until this point, and now you're realizing why it's not something that you should have gotten into. Right? The Four of Wands is here and it's reversed. So it's kind of making me feel like, again, the foundation for something, the harmony in something wasn't really solidified. You know what I'm saying? There's like a relationship. Don't just rush into any old relationship and then you fuck around and you get used and abused and taken advantage of because you just want a relationship so bad. No, you need to be willing to really ask yourself, what are you willing to do about it? Get a little more cynical. Okay, this person might be cool, they might be attractive, or maybe they're taking a liking to me, I'm taking a liking to them. You need to get a little more inquisitive on why. Get a little more inquisitive on who this person is. Who are you? What's wrong with this? And not from a standpoint of like, it'll stay away from me, right? Because I know some some Scorpios who can come at it from that standpoint, but it's from a standpoint of ill. What do you know what I'm saying? You like me, okay, why? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you the way you like me? And it's like, whoa, that's a little dark, you know? But I'm just saying, again, ask questions, get a little more intuitive, be a little more proactive on asking the right questions as far as it protecting you, right? I'm not saying you have to let your fears and anxieties go crazy, but I'm also saying not saying to give away your farm for a smile and go balls to the wall, go crazy, and then crash the car and regret that shit later. Okay, if it's somebody you're interested in, get to know them, let them get to know you. Ask the right questions. Don't ask no silly shit. Okay, ask the right questions. Leave no stone, excuse me, unturned. If it's a job, ask questions. Okay, well, talk to me about the last employee you fired and why did you fire them. Talk to me about the last employee who quit. Why did they quit? You know what I'm saying? How do you treat your people? What does the insurance look like? What does this look like? I personally, when I go in job interviews, I like to talk to the other people that's there. You know, you go in the interviews and they be like, well, do you have any more questions? Do you have anything for us? Yeah, can I grab one of your employees so I can have a talk with them? Because again, the boss and the supervisors and the higher ups gonna tell you anything. It's the employees that's gonna give you the real when you get there. Okay, same thing with like I just said, a car. Oh, Scorpio, I got this for you. Oh, Scorpio, I got that for you. That's cool. I appreciate it. But what prompted you to want to give it to me? Out of all the people you want to give it to, you want to give it to me. For some people, they have good intentions, and for other people, they don't. But again, this is really dependent on how well you can kind of get clarity on something before moving forward with it. You can't just hop into the car, and then be like, all right, yeah, let's go for a joyride. Then halfway down the street, that shit bust down on your ass and you trying to get back to the person that you just bought this car from. Before you know it, they done got the fuck on your ass. They done took your money and juked you and got the hell on. You can't even find them no more. Nuh-uh. Ask questions, really see the potential in something. Really like get clarity on something because you can't trust everything. That's why I said, but some of you Scorpios already know that. I feel like you already come into it saying you can't trust people. You come into it feeling like I don't know if I trust this. I don't know if I trust you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you like me, but why? You want to sell me this, but why? You want to do this, but why? You know what I'm saying? Why? What do you want from me? Some of y'all can be really cynical, and some of you aren't cynical enough. It feels like. What is this Four of Wands reversed? Yeah, there's that Seven of Swords again. Seven of Swords and Moon card reverse. So again, something is being illuminated. Something is being exposed. Something is being illuminated. Something is being exposed. Anyway, I was trying to see what the song was, but some with NLE Chopper. I don't know who head or face he holding child. I'm just gonna mind my business. Anyway, yeah, something is being exposed. Someone who doesn't have good motives might be being exposed. Scorpio, also make sure that this isn't you. Okay, y'all know I love to believe that the people who follow and subscribe to me aren't shitty people, but that would be very unrealistic of me to think that everybody in the world it was just so cheeky and amazing. So making sure that again you aren't the one with motives, because if you are the one moving with ulterior motives, thinking that you're building a foundation with something or for something, you will be exposed. So make sure you check yourself. Okay. But this also feels like people who are dealing with you under that demise, people who again are being manipulative, being fake, not being authentic, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like moving in calculated motives. You know what I'm saying? Because this feels like either you or somebody around you is moving very calculated. And again, it feels like it's more so for someone else's selfish gain, Scorpio, and not yours. This isn't someone who's being super calculated because they know you really need a car and they took the time to really go check out the car and get everything worked on and then came to you and said, Scorpio, I just know you need a car, so I just thought I would give. Nah. This is someone who again think they trying to get over. This is somebody who think that they like getting one up on you. This is someone who's using manipulation and is trying to be super calculated and super intentional because they want something or because they simply just trying to get close to you. For some of you, again, this could be nothing more than just trying to get close to you, right? Maybe somebody trying to get to know you in that type of regard. Again, maybe this is a boss who just trying to fill the position and just trying to get a new hire. They don't really care about nothing you talking about or who you are or any of that shit. They don't really care. You know what I'm saying? They just want you to accept the position because they need a slot filled. They just want you to come around because they bored and they don't got nothing better to do. They just want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, be careful of that. But something is going to be exposed relatively soon, whether it be with you and because you moving like that or with somebody else because they're moving like that with you. And at the end of the day, what's done in the dark will come to the light. So make sure you keep your head on a swivel. Okay, I would ask questions. Like even for me, right? There's someone who And it's funny because they're shockingly a Scorpio. But there's someone who around me, I feel like I can kind of already sniff out the Scorpio because the way he kind of go about doing stuff, I don't know, for me as a woman who'd have been around the block, it's very, very obvious. But I'm just real good at playing stupid and playing dumb and playing the game, how the game go, and giving people enough rope to hang themselves. But this is someone who came into it acting like, oh, you should teach me cursive and I'll pay you to teach me cursive. And then they went from teach me cursive to, well, if I just, know how to write better, then I can maybe show up better. And then maybe I can, start actually doing better as I present my writing. It's like, that don't even logically make sense. That sounds like bullshit. Like, that sounds like manipulation. And I ran it by somebody else, and somebody else agreed with me and was like, yeah, it sounds like this person just is trying to find a way to talk to you, trying to find an end on how to get to know you or how to just be around you. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what that sounds like. How you write and the way your penmanship looks shouldn't have a direct reflection on the confidence you have with sharing it. And I don't care how great you write, that literally doesn't matter if you don't have like, you could be the best pen, you can have the best penmanship since John Hancock. If you're not confident in putting it out, it doesn't matter. Just like you can not have confidence, you can have all the confidence in the world and you can still write like chicken scratch, but still be the most confident person in the world to say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm putting out into the world. You don't need me to teach you that. But when you're trying to find an end, and when you're trying to talk to a pretty girl who you probably wouldn't talk to, who more than likely 9 times out of 10 would never look, because I literally wouldn't be talking to this nigga if it wasn't for him making that end. I literally don't be having nothing to say to nobody at work. I go in there, make my check, I leave, right? So this feels kind of like a similar thing where it's like, be careful of people who kind of like have motives. You know what I'm saying? And again, this doesn't mean that the motive is negative. Do I perceive that this person has like negative intentions? No. However, I am questioning the way they're going about doing things, and I'm questioning the authenticity of like what they're trying to do. Because again, I don't like, even as of lately, I think they just wrote me the other day, which is like, yeah, because in our next session, I would love to know your process and your progress of how you write your music. You don't even write music. So my writing process on music won't have a direct reflection on your writing process. And again, playing dumb, I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. Little do he know that when he get here, next time we have this writing session, I'm not showing you my process and lame man nigga. You will show me your process and I'll help you through your process because that's what you're allegedly paying me for, to help you. Learning my process ain't gonna mean shit because what I eat don't make you shit. So whatever my process is doesn't matter to you. You need to figure out what your process is. However, when you're much more focused on getting to know me instead of understanding yourself and bettering yourself, then yeah, you'll be much more interested in who I am and what my downtime relaxation means to you and all of those silly shit who literally doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So saying all that to say, keep your eyes open. Okay, there could be somebody around you who, like I said, isn't necessarily the most authentic person, whether it be they genuinely have negative motives or maybe they have pretty good motives, but the way they go about it is very disingenuous. Regardless, though, something will be illuminated. Things will be illuminated, and you will be seeing some things differently. Whether it be you're the one having motives and people figure you out, Scorpio, or this is somebody who has motives with you and you will be figuring that out. For some of you, though, like I said, who are a little too trusting, a little too naive, a little too gullible, I don't think it'll be hard at all for you to kind of sniff this person out. All you have to do is take a step back, put your feelings in your pocket, and really observe. Scorpios are really good at observing. You're really good at figuring people out and picking people's brains. Even to a point where, again, I think that you be thinking other people don't know what you're doing. Uh, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is something that is being illuminated. Somebody's intentions, somebody's strategy, somebody's motives will absolutely be exposed. Okay, and it'll be left in your lap to figure out what you're doing about it. To be completely honest, it'll be completely in your lap to figure out what you're gonna do about it. Yeah, come as you are, Nirvana, right? I feel like that's pretty on brand. I just said that, right? The way that people are kind of going about things, who they are, right? The mask of it all. Sometimes people have good motives and intentions, but they wear a mask like shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll be whoever the fuck they think you need them to be in order to get whatever it is that they want, or get as close to you as they desire. So you have to be careful about that. You know what I'm saying? It smells like teen spirit, grunge, lonely, strings, all apologies, pressure. I think pressure was funny because Diamond by Conway the Machine is playing. So again, there's a lot going on right now. Someone could be feeling some pressure. You, Scorpio, could also be under some pressure that's making you a diamond right now. Okay, but again, be very wary of that. Shine bright like a diamond. Everybody like, ooh, shiny, shiny things. Ooh, 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 shiny things. Be careful of that. You don't want no. You don't need nobody around you just because they want to be around you, just because it's convenient. Fuck all of that. It ain't that serious. It ain't that deep. I don't need friends or lovers or partners or none of that shit that bad. Okay, so be very careful about that of people who aren't coming as their most authentic self, people who aren't showing up in their most authentic manner just because they kind of want to get around you or because you have something that they want. Okay, that'll be exposed. I'm also seeing something interesting, right? We have a lot of white people here. And I hate to feel like I'm being that type of person, but I mean I feel like Nirvana and Eminem kind of got the same vibe and energy. Just one is punk rock and the other one is hip hop. Because even here, it says lonely, empty without me, grunge, anger. Right? So it feels very, very similar. Wordsmith again is also in this card. I think that's pretty interesting considering the example that I just gave. But Wordsmith is also in this card. So again, be careful of people who are kind of saying anything, doing anything. People who, and honestly, looking at both of these, this does feel like an energy of people who don't really have much to offer, who just are trying to fill a void. Scorpio, be careful of that. People who are just trying to fill a void. People who are just trying to kind of again be around because they don't really have shit else. There's a lot of people in the world who don't have shit going on. I don't know if y'all ever noticed that, but I have. There's a lot of people in the world who don't really have shit going on. So they want to come around you because they feel like you got a lot going on. They want to come around you because you are their sense of entertainment. I've had to kind of chump a lot of people off like that in a sense of like letting them know or reminding them like you do understand I'm not here to entertain you, right? You do understand I'm not here to entertain you. You do understand that I'm not here to appease you. You do understand that I have my own life going on. I'm not here to fill a void in yours, right? Eminem card, wordsmith, unmatched, empty without me. I just don't give a fuck, outsider, shady, and anger. Can a real Slim Shady please stand up? You know what I'm saying? But that nigga was angry. He was mad. He was mad at his mama. He was mad at his baby mama and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is someone who, again, feels like they're trying to fill a void. Someone who probably don't have much going on in their life. Don't get much interaction probably. Don't be around bad bitches. Don't really have no friends. This is somebody who wants to now come around you and kind of be around for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, this is somebody who want to come around you for the sake of it, but can't even come as they are. This is somebody who, again, don't have good intentions. Somebody who wants to come around portraying someone that they're not. Someone who doesn't have good intentions, but want to come around acting like they do. Right? They just want to take your money. They ain't finna tell you that as soon as you get around the block twice, it's this whole car finna break down, bitch. The goddamn engine finna just fall out the bottom of it, bitch. They ain't gonna tell you all that though. Why? Because they're interested in your money. Right? People who come in and have different motives. People who come in and act like something they not. That's why I said I always from day one moment when I thought that was really weird. Now, what is a big grown 30-some-year-old man who ain't never thought about in his life writing cursive wants to? Why would he want to pay me to teach him to write cursive? If you ain't learn cursive in your 30 some odd years living, you probably not gonna get it now. Right? Then motherfuckers move the goalposts. They say, well, I don't want you to teach me cursive. I just, want to study and learn your penmanship because if I can be a better writer, then it will make me right. And now penmanship ain't enough. Now you want to know my process, girl. I wasn't born last night, and I wasn't born at night. Okay, I'm also extremely intelligent. I can smell when some shit is off with somebody, especially because again, don't none of that shit even make sense. The next lesson was supposed to be writing sentences to better your penmanship, and now you come in like, oh well, I would love to know what your writing process is. Why? I write music. You don't. My writing process and your writing process is going to be different. I write poetry. You write short stories and books and films. Who cares about the writing process? Especially because whatever my process is might not be your process. So let's focus less on what my process is. That's why I said told you when the motherfucker came up when we did our first writing lesson, it went from a writing lesson to this motherfucker trying to play 21 questions with me about what does self-care mean to me? What does that have to do with writing? But when you're more focused, you know what I'm saying? When you come in with acting like it's one intention, when really this isn't your intention, you don't give a fuck about, right? Like again, you've been writing all your life. You just now at a point where you trying to figure out like, oh, because I should be a better writer. Please. This has nothing to do with being a better writer and everything to do with I'm trying to find an end so I can talk to you and get to know you because I want to get to know you. Which is cool, but it just seems inauthentic. Right? So like I said, just be very careful with it. Okay, Scorpios? Y'all have some people around you who again might be gravitating to you or wanting to be around you just because it helps them feel whatever little sad, pathetic void. Not saying that that's what's going on with the person. Again, I don't know if they have a void to feel. I just said all that to say because obviously you're not coming into this with the intentions that you really have at the forefront. You trying to make it like I'm trying to learn and teach and grow, when actually I don't think this has shit to do with it. I said even if this wasn't running, I would go get the notebook and show y'all. This motherfucker writing questions in there like, so what does love mean to you? I look stupid. Right? Clearly, again, writing has nothing to do with your intentions. You're here around me because you have some other shit going on. So, but again, like I said, it could be the filler boy, it could not. You could just be having somebody around you where you need to be careful because, again, somebody's real intentions are going to be exposed. Whether it be they just not showing up authentically as their most authentic, genuine self, or maybe they just coming around to fill a void. Shit, sometimes it's both. Sometimes people show up as someone that they aren't, and it's because they're literally coming to fill the void. But if they came in as the person that they really are, broken, battered, depressed, pathetic, down bad, you probably wouldn't want to be around them to help fill that void. Right? Saying I like to say, Scorpio, just be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. Protect your neck. Okay? And up that motherfucking prayer protection so you can keep all of the weirdos away from you, and make sure you check yourself and look in the mirror to make sure that you're not being a weirdo. Okay? Because if you're the one with fucked up motives and intentions, and if you're the one acting like something that you're not and portraying to be something that you're not, you will be exposed. This Pisces Mercury retrograde will be exposing everybody. Okay? If you ain't got good intentions, it'll be exposed. If you cheating and honey dipping and rubbernecking and goose necking, bitch, it'll be exposed. If you over here trying to sell people a lemon and get over, it'll be exposed. And if people are doing that to you, Scorpio, it will be exposed during this Pisces season, during this Pisces retrograde. So be careful. Thank you for visiting my channel, though. I really appreciate it. If you've gotten this far, like, share, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments. If this resonated, again, I am open for personal readings. You can drop down below in the description box to find the discount code, to find my website, to book, or to find me on other platforms if you just want to check me out on other platforms, and all of that good jazz. And yeah, I'm Audi 5000, and I'll see you over on the next video. Bye.